All right, going over the homework real quick. I went ahead and shaded already. But first I'm going to make that smart estimate. So I have, and it helps me to kind of rewrite it. So 2 and 2 tenths divided into groups of 2 tenths. So smart estimate, just go ahead and make it easy on yourself. It doesn't, there's not one right answer. It can be something like, how about 2 divided by a half? And really what you're saying is, how many halves fit into 2? And so my answer would be 4. So I know that my estimate's about 4. So keep that in mind in the end, that my estimate is about 4. Okay? Next, the model. So I'm starting with 2 and 2 tenths, and I'm splitting it or dividing it into groups of 2 tenths to see how many groups can be formed. So if you see 2 tenths, 2 tenths, 2 tenths, 2 tenths, 2 tenths, and I'm not done yet, I have to keep going. Okay, so this model is the visual representation of 2 and 2 tenths split into groups of 2 tenths. Okay, so I can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 groups formed. Okay, so far I think my answer is 11. And remember, now our smart estimate, it's fairly close. You did change this fairly significantly, okay, and this as well. So that's okay so far. And the good thing is you have other ways to prove it. You have your smart estimate, but now we're going to prove it with algorithm and checking. So it's not, there's a few different ways to make sure that you're doing the right thing. Now, yesterday we did this lesson where we said, okay, let me move this 2 and 2 tenths divided by 2 tenths. That's complicated. It would be a whole lot easier if this was a whole number. So what I can do is I can move the decimal here by multiplying 10. Now that means this is now the number 2. Because remember, 2 decimal is the same thing as just 2. Okay, so I have 2 and 2 tenths divided by 2. But here's the thing. We talked yesterday about if you're raising this up by a power of 10 or multiplying it by 10, you have to do the same thing to the dividend. Okay, dividend and divisor, you have to keep it fair. So I need to multiply this by a power of 10, which makes this now the number 22 divided by 2. And some of you might be thinking, ooh, that's a basic fact. 22 divided by 2 is 11. If you wanted to continue with the algorithm, you would see that 11 works. So far, I'm glad that my answer with my model matches my answer with the standard algorithm. And the last thing I'm going to do is go ahead and use the C to check. So 11 times 2 equals 22. Okay? If you checked this instead, you could have checked 11 times 2 tenths, and it better equal 2 and 2 tenths. So 11 times 2 tenths, 0 places after the decimal, 1 place after the decimal, so 0 plus 1 is 1. And now I multiply. Put my placeholder 0, 0, 0. Okay, and so I'm going to get this and 1 place after the decimal. So this proves that, look, 11 times 2 tenths does get me 2 and 2 tenths. 11 times 2 tenths does get me 2 and 2 tenths. So the next one I'd like you to go ahead and do alone. If you have any questions, feel free to ask tomorrow. You know that that's something you need to be responsible for doing. All right? Thanks. Bye.